So with under a minute left here in the first quarter, 13-10 in favor of the Hornets. They look to push the ball up the left-hand side. Three-point shot now by Drew Frank. Comes off. It's going to be a rebound by number 14. That's Cameron O'Connor, 6'2 senior. And the foul is charged to Kruger Edwards. I believe that's his second foul here in the first quarter. And it's been a frenetic pace here in Klamath Falls here in the first quarter. The Henley Hornets taking it to the Comets again, 13-10. Just under a minute here left in the first quarter. So Connor misses the first of two.
Nate Biddle checking back in. Nate picked up a foul a couple of minutes ago. Coach Schmerbach wanted Nate to sit and think about it for just a minute, not run the risk of getting in foul trouble.
Hornets come out extremely aggressive tonight, which they must. As Biddle goes in, and that's his 7th point of the night. Came out early. Those of you late joining us, an alley-oop dunk on the first possession as the Hornets came out in a zone. Biddle went over the top and two-hand tomahawk, and then he hit a deep three-pointer, and that pushed Coach Luke Hammond out of that zone, and he's been in a man-to-man that was worked ever since. Another block by Biddle now. 10 seconds left here, first quarter. That's going to be a foul on number 14, Cameron O'Connor, as Biddle takes out the entire scoreboard here at the Hornets' nest. 1 second left on the clock. That's going to be the 6th team foul, as they're going to call in a mechanic to take care of the scoreboard right down in front of us. Biddle was fouled hard on the reach.
Cameron O'Connor, I think he kind of anticipated which way Biddle was going to go. Biddle came back a little bit to his right, and they just kind of met in the middle. I don't think it was a cheap foul by O'Connor, just a kind of a hustle foul type of defensive play, but it sent Biddle sprawling into the score bench.
So what they're discussing now is, Biddle had the ball with about 11 seconds took off from the baseline. There's a second showing now on the clock. So I believe he hit the scoreboard and the score clock keeper so hard that they didn't get a chance to adjust the time until after the dust was settled. So they're discussing how many seconds are left on the clock here, because the Comets are not in the bonus yet. I believe they're settled on 8 seconds. So
they got 80 seconds up there, Jeff. We'll see.
They had .8. Now they got 80. Those of you that have score kept, it's not an easy task by any means. So 5A foe Crater traveling 90 miles east to take on the 4A foe, the Henley Hornets. Hornets find themselves up by 1 here late in the first quarter.
This is the second 5A Midwestern League team in a row that the Hornets have played, as they took care of Eagle Point at Eagle Point last night, 54-42. Malachi Grant gets the 3 off.
3 seconds to go. Chubb has a shot. That comes off. Battled by Grant. That goes out of bounds with no time. Time's expired, and so that'll do it for the first quarter here in Klamath Falls on the John L. Scott scoreboard. The Henley Hornets 13, the Crater Comets 12. And welcome back here to TableRockSports.net. Jeff Lang alongside Jason Brewster. We're in Klamath Falls here, afternoon matinee, if you will. Skyline Conference versus the Midwestern League Conference. Out of league play here early on. There's a shot up and out by Rowe. He hit a deep one earlier. Their first 3 points for the Hornets. Foul on the rebound. That's number 20, Octavian Newsom. Again, aggressive play here early by the Hornets. That's going to put the Comets in bonus the rest of the way here in the first half.
Seth Howe, he leads all the Hornets scorers, Jeff, with 7. He's had the 3 that you mentioned earlier, a couple of free throws, as well as a 2-point basket.
Chubb misses the front end. Jump ball between Biddle and Rowe. Possession to the Comets now. Biddle goes up and in for the dunk over Seth Howe and gets the and one. A highlight indeed. Second dunk of the night for Biddle. 9th point, if I'm correct.
That is correct. Nate Biddle filling up the stat sheet. Those of you who tuned in last night to watch Crater play Mazama saw Nate Biddle outscore the Mazama varsity team. Nate had 25. Mazama scored 24.
As Matthew Newbert to the hole gets blocked by Biddle. Chubb now on the move. Up to Grant. Grows in hard. Grant gets his own rebound. Up and in for 2 for the junior. Wearing 15 for the Comets. Comets in all black tonight. Sporting new uniforms with orange trim. Hornets in the home white. Stolen away by Grant. And that's going to be a jump ball. Nice hustle by the junior. Possession in favor of the Hornets now. Good action from Malachi off of the bench. Here's Newbert up and over Braden Ray and Biddle. Hunter Chubb with the rebound, but he's going to be fouled by number 4. That's Braden Lowry, multi-year starter for Coach Luke Hammond. Again, aggressive play by the Hornets. Comets again in the bonus. Let's see if they can convert. 17-13 in favor of the Comets here. 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Biddle up with the rebound, goes up quickly for another 2. So that's the risk that one runs. If you miss those free throws, you have got to pin Biddle off hard.
You have to keep him way out of the key too, Jeff, because of those long arms.
Number 30 up with a shot. That's off. That's Drew Frank. Biddle down with the rebound. He'll choose just to bring it up across his half court. Picked up by Newbert. Ball goes off of the hands of Drew Frank as Biddle was looking for Vrains, the young sophomore, in the close corner here in front of Luke Hammond and the Hornet bench. On the floor for the Comets are Biddle, Chubb, Vrains, Ray, and Grant. There's Grant. Jump stop. Hits Ray inside. He finds Colton Vrains on the outside. A soft shot. Catches the rim a couple times. And here's Newbert. Clear catalyst for the Hornets. That's a miss as he has to go up and around Biddle. Chubb has an open look. Hard off the back iron. No rebounders for the Comets. Newsom brings it up into Newbert's hands, and he nails that right in front of Chris Schmerbach. Luke Hammond wants a timeout to talk more about it. It's John L. Scott scoreboard. Crater Comets 19, the Hornets 16. And welcome back to TableRockSports.net. Jeff Lang, Jason Brewster coming to you from Klamath Falls. Comets on top just by 3 here with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Biddle brings the ball up, looks for Colton Raines on the back door, and he takes steps. Says, my fault. That's a turnover. I mentioned Chris Schmerbach on the way to our break. Of course, Chris, standout athlete here in Klamath Falls for the Pelicans. Fortunate bounce there for Luke Hammond and the Hornets. That goes right into Braden Lowry's hands. Newbert on the drive, got blocked by Biddle. Fell in the hands of Lowry for 2 points. 19-18 now, Comets.
A lot of Klamath Falls connections here, Jeff, as both of Nate Biddle's parents were also athletes here in Klamath Falls playing for OIT, Sue Biddle's softball. His dad, Nate Biddle, played for legendary coach Danny Miles at OIT.
Joe Norcutt takes it in. That's rebounded by Lowry and rejected by Biddle. I don't have the official stat, but I've got Biddle for at least 6 blocks here in the first half. Malachi Grant for the 3 comes off long in the hands of Newbert now. Newbert again the catalyst. The right-handed 6'3 senior. Nice dish to Lowry, fellow senior. He puts it up and in for 2. Doing yeoman's work underneath the glass is Lowry. 4.5 minutes left. Just a 2-point game here. Second quarter. Braden Ray with it. Over to Malachi Grant. The sophomore now, Colton Raines. Here's Biddle from deep. He nails that. His second of the night from the same spot. And Coach Schmerbach wants a timeout to talk about it. That takes the lead to 5 points on the John L. Scott scoreboard. We'll take a break, see if we can fire up an ad or two from our sponsors here.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Griffin with a message from the Central Point Police Department about our Explorer program. If you're between 14 and 21 years of age and are interested in a career in law enforcement, the Explorer program at CPPD might be just the program for you. Explorers will learn about all aspects of police work through ride-alongs, training sessions, and an annual competition with other youth participants. Visit us at the Central Point Police Department or call 541-664-5578 to learn more about how to get yourself signed up for this fun program. Central Point Police Department. Dedicated service, committed to excellence.
We think in our stores that we have the best.
And we're back here. A quick 30-second timeout for Coach Chris Schmerbach. 25-20 on the scoreboard for the Comets. 4 minutes left, second quarter. That's Newsom with a long three-pointer. And that's called clean living when you get a bounce like that. The only other player that I know that gets a bounce like that is David Hurd, the athletic director for the Comets. And they call that clean living. Biddle, long shot way to the left. Good defense by Northcutt. Stolen away by the Comets. Chubb goes in. That comes up short. Frank on the rebound. In the hands of Newsom now. Picked up by Braden Ray. Spins. Up. And there he is on the glass. That's Braden Ray. Brandon Laurie can't get it to go. Here's Biddle. Little out of control. Throws it up off the glass and brought down by Northcutt. Again, frenetic pace here in the first half. Newbert into Newsom. Newsom out to Northcutt. Newsom's going to take the long three and hit nothing but net over the outstretched hands of Hunter Chubb. Hornets take the lead 26-25, and there's another turnover by the Comets.
The Hornets playing with a lot of confidence right now, Jeff. They feel like their hustle is keeping them in this game, and they certainly are showing it.
Drop my Mountain Dew, Jason.
I saw that, but some friendly Henley Hornet cheerleaders
landed
were there
right
to
in
help
her
you out.
backpack. She had a nice toss up to me, so rebounded by the Hornets as Braden Lowry blocked by Biddle. Got back by Lowry. Again, ton of pushing down there. That's going to be a foul on Northcutt. Again, very aggressive here. The referees are calling it both ways.
They are.
There's going to be some foul trouble as we creep into the latter end of this game. Biddle will end up at the line.
Henley has decided that the way they're going to beat this 5A Comets team is by hustle and just working hard on the glass. And they have been, They run 6'3" across their front line for the most part. They've got one 6'4" guy, Joe Northcutt, but otherwise they're a much smaller team, but they've really been working on the glass.
Comets are just a frozen, I'll say Frozen 2 in honor of the movie that's out, from the line. I can't recall a free throw made, and I can recall about 6 missed, all there in the bonus. Biddle approaches for his second. That's up and in.
Hey, Biddle heard you. In fact, Biddle was the last one to make a free throw for the Comets. That's his second made free throw after his 6th attempt.
Stolen away by Colton Brains. He gets it up to Chubb. Chubb, a pass. Went up above the rim, did Biddle. Couldn't control it with his right hand. Newbert was there to battle it. Picked up. Here's Newsom. He's got the hot hand. Picked up by Biddle. Quickly up the court to Vrains. Vrains gets it in the hands of Biddle in traffic. Biddle tosses it over to Eaton. Eaton now drives with his right hand. Good ball movement for the Comets. There's Biddle with a good look. Gets a lot of rim brought down by Newsom. We're tied at 26 here with 2 minutes to go. We've got a good one here on Saturday afternoon. Here's Newbert, picked up by Eaton. That's blocked by Biddle, but the referee doesn't like it. He wants to call the foul. Biddle argues with him. Referee says, hey, I had body. Coach Schmerbach wants to talk about it too. He felt that there was body on that long pass from Chubb to Biddle, and there was a lot of contact made on that one. I wouldn't disagree with him.
I agree with that, Jeff. The long pass from Chubb, Biddle's alley-oop, had a lot of contact, which is fine, but no more contact on this other end where Biddle got the foul called on him. And, of course, Chris Schmerbach always concerned about the number of fouls Nate Biddle has.
Again, simple rebound by an aggressive play by Lowry. Here's Northcutt. They're just chewing the Comets up underneath with aggressive play. Again, these guys go about 6'2", 6'3", and they look to be about 210, and they just have a lot more body. Nice inlet pass from Hunter Chubb. He hits his classmate on the high right hand, and an easy 2 for Biddle. We're still knotted here at 28.
There's good recognition there from Chubb, Jeff. Nate Biddle really posting up hard, calling for that ball, and when your 5-star center calls for the ball down low, get it to him.
Darius Hall for the Hornets just picked up his 3rd foul. He's a starter. He'll have a seat next to Coach Luke Hammond. 28 apiece, just over a minute to go. Here's Jasko now, is checked into the game for the Comets. Chubb has a look.
Nope. Chubb recognizing it again.
Biddle had his man pinned down on the block, Jason. That's Newbert. And as you mentioned it, Hunter Chubb recognizing that. Chubb now picking up Newsom, who's had the hot hand here in the second quarter. Man-to-man defense here for the Comets. Ball goes into Joe Northcutt. Northcutt picks it over to Lowry. Lowry's pushed. No foul called. Hand goes in the hands of Newsom. Gets it up and over Biddle as he got him up in the air and off his feet. 25 seconds left in a errant pass by Chubb as they're trying to transition on the make. Eaton was down in the corner about 25 feet away from the basket, and an errant pass by Hunter Chubb. 21 seconds left. We're knotted at 30. We've got a good one. Stay tuned, folks. Newsom now with the ball. He's got a clear lane. Picked up by Eaton. Newbert now. 6 seconds left. Newbert to the hole. That's Biddle. He grabs the rebound on the block and heaves it down court.
Well, going into halftime at 30-30, Jeff, I think Coach Luke Hammond has to feel like he's ahead to have a whole new ball game starting for the second half here at the Henley Hornets.
And we're going to take a break here on Table Rock Sports and get our bearings, and we'll be right back here after a few great words from our sponsors.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made for travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos. Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos. You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made for travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guy during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made for travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guide during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Crater Foundation, who provides scholarship assistance to every graduating senior from Crater High School who applies for one, and provides scholarship assistance to students continuing their education after completing at least 1 year of college. Since its inception, the Crater Foundation has awarded over $4.38 million in scholarship assistance to more than 4,085 Crater High graduates. The Crater Foundation is dedicated to providing these scholarships to Crater High grads and relies solely upon the support of the community, individuals, local businesses and organizations, alumni, and District 6 staff members to do so. Become a part of the Crater Foundation community and contribute to making dreams a reality. If you're interested in making a donation or sponsoring a scholarship, please contact us by email at craterfoundation@district6.org or by phone at 541-494-6308.
Hello, we're back with another episode of Traffic Safety First. I'm Officer Ashwell, and today we are going to discuss some helpful tips to keep in mind if you're planning on traveling during this holiday season. Let's get to it.
Hey, welcome back to Klamath Falls. Jeff Lang and Jason Brewster here. This halftime segment is sponsored by the Crater Foundation. The foundation provides scholarships for Crater graduates to help them take the next step to succeed. Learn how you can help them. craterfoundation.district6.org. Jason, we find ourselves with a minute and a half here left to tip, but a 30-30 tie. What's your take thus far?
So knotted up at 30, the Henley Hornets have to feel pretty good about where they stand right now. Jeff playing a bigger school and a school that I think intended to come in here and put them away pretty quickly like they did to their fellow Skyline Conference team Mazama last night. I think the story, well, there's a couple of storylines here. First of all, the pace. Let's talk about the pace. It's frenetic. I mean, and a frenetic pace like what we're seeing tonight usually favors the team that is out hustling the other team. And that's what I'm seeing from Henley. Henley is out hustling Crater to the loose balls, the 50-50 balls, and badly on the offensive rebounds. Henley has 13 offensive rebounds. Excuse me. Henley has 10 offensive rebounds to Crater's 4 offensive rebounds. Now, defensively, both teams have 13 apiece. But when you're giving up that many second shots, that really is the story of why Henley, I think, is in the game that they're in. Secondly, we got to look to probably our second most potent offensive player on Crater, and that is Hunter Chubb, junior Hunter Chubb. 0 for 9 in the first half. And, Hunter's somebody that this team relies on to knock down those open threes, and he just hasn't been able to hit it. So we want to see Crater take care of the ball, stop giving up second shots in the second half, and then see if Hunter can find a way to make himself effective in this game.
All right. About ready to go here, second half action. Comets moving from right to left on your screen. Hornets come out in a man-to-man zone again. Those of you that joined late, the Hornets started in a zone, and the Comets made them pay on the first two possessions with a dunk and a deep three, both by Biddle. Here's a lob up front from Chubb to Biddle, and I believe that's the third or fourth tonight. So they saw that and made the adjustments at halftime.
And that's one thing, Jeff, I was remiss when I mentioned that Chubb has not put a lot of points on the board. He does have some very nice passes, a lot of assists to Nate Biddle for Nate's 22nd point of the evening, or late afternoon, I should say.
Here's Darius Hall. He's picked up by Braden Ray, who should have been pestering Hall all night long. Got a different starter for the Comets as Malachi Grant comes out in the starting lineup here in the second half and replaces Kruger Edwards. Not sure. We'll get a report. We'll see if Kruger is hurt, but we haven't seen a whole lot of Kruger tonight.
Malachi gave Coach Schmerbach some really good hustle plays in that first quarter and again, or first half, and again we saw something from Malachi right there, caused that turnover.
Stolen away by Eaton. Turnover on the Hornets. Comets look to be a little bit more mature on the past couple possessions, and there's a foul. It's going to be on Newberg. A nice drive to his left by Braden Ray.
Braden Ray using his quickness effectively on that drive, Jeff. Chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
The right-handed player went quickly to his left, and then the help by Newberg came over for the foul, and Braden Ray converts on the three-point play. Referees want a timeout, so there's some discussion.
Yeah, it looks like they gave Henley 2 points that they didn't earn on the other end. I had a turnover that Malachi Grant caused.
Nope. We are here in the Hornet Nest.
And the score is now 30. It should be 33-30, I believe.
I've got 30-35, but...
Yep, you're right. Yeah, we had the Braden Ray's three-point play. There it is, 30-35, and Biddle's dunk.
So 5 quick points by Schmerbach's Comets here. And they're also correcting the foul here on the scoreboard. So this poor scorekeeper in front of us, she's had a little rough night so far with that collision early in the second quarter. And since then, shaking off the cobwebs, and understandable. 6.5 left here, third quarter. Comets lead 35-30.
I believe Braden Ray can run backwards almost as fast as he does forward, Jeff. He just really moves well defensively.
Battle for the ball. Newsom comes up with it. Out to Hall. Hall's going to be called for player control, and it's just one of those nights for the senior. 5'11". Darius Hall picks up his fourth. Doesn't even wait for his coach. Just walks directly to the bench as he knows it's been one of those nights.
You know, you can feel for him, Jeff. You have some of those nights where things just don't go right, and that's how it's been for him.
I didn't see what Comet drew that foul, but
that was I believe that was it was either Braden or Malachi Grant. I want to say it might have been excuse me, it was Blake Eaton.
Blake Eaton. I heard in practice this week the Comets worked a lot on taking charges. There's a pass too far for Biddle. He does track it down, finds Chubb on the cut, back to Biddle. He snatches it away and passes it over the head of Grant.
Malachi jumped for the ball and then pulled his hands down. He must have thought that Braden Ray was behind him.
First turnover of the second half for the Comets. Every possession critical here.
That's one of those things you hope that Malachi's thinking to himself, if I can get that, I think just grab it next time.
This is a very difficult gym to play in, and you can tell, first of all, it's a long road trip for the Comets. These Henley Hornets were 17-9 last season, 9-1 in conference, finished 6th in the OSAA rankings, went to the state tournament up in Forest Grove. I believe that's Pacific University, where they lost 2 games by a total of 4 points. Nice pass by Chubb up to Malachi Grant, goes high up as number 32 Seth Howe went up, slapped the backboard, but Grant got it off the board before.
Great defense by Ray to start that fast break. Chubb and Grant both recognizing that and getting out on the transition basket.
Frank rebounds Newbert's shot. Here's Newsom. Another offensive rebound by Lowry. And Luke Hammond saw that Lowry was in trouble underneath. Excuse me, that's, Braden Lowry. And so we're going to take a quick timeout here on TableRockSports.net. 37-30, favor of the Comet.
1991, Medford area residents have looked to Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon for vision care for the whole family. Specializing in optometry for adults and children, ECA uses state-of-the-art diagnostic tools to scan for health risks and get your prescription just right. Get your students a comprehensive vision check to ensure they have their best chance to learn and succeed. And look good while you see well. Specialists in our optical boutique have extensive styles on hand or can special order. We hope to see your family at Eye Care Associates of Southern Oregon. Visit eyecaresouthern.oregon.com to learn more.
And welcome back here to Klamath Falls. Coming out of a timeout for the Hornets. 4.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Frank with the ball, gives it up to Howe. Howe over to Newbert. Newbert picked up by Eaton. He drives the lane, and that's going to be blocked by Biddle.
I'm going to disagree with that one, Jeff. He changed it to a jump ball. He's probably right.
Okay, so I'm interested in this, and so is the ref.
So the official thinks it hit the glass first, yes?
Well, they
on its way down.
He called it a jump ball. And my question is, wouldn't it have to be in both players' hands to be a jump ball, where the ball would look like it could have been pinned against the backboard? But I thought it was clearly out of the hands of Newbert and had been in the air for a while.
They're going with a jump ball. Here's what I think happened. I think he blew the whistle, and then he thought goaltend. I think he thinks, from where he was standing, I think he thought maybe the ball hit the glass before Biddle hit it, which would have been a goaltend. But then afterwards, and after he saw the expression on Biddle's face, he changed it. And I think he went to jump ball, just saying, look, I blew the whistle, I stopped the play, we're going with a jump ball because it was a mistake.
These referees that haven't seen Biddle here, or high school players this tall or can jump that high, they normally, it's a hard call for them when that ball is up in that white block.
It's not a call they're used to making. College officials are used to seeing that and having to make that play or make that call, but like you say, high school officials don't see.
Hornets come up empty on the possession nonetheless. 4 minutes left here, third quarter. Biddle now drives baseline, pulls up for the 12-footer. That's long, battle for the rebound. Malachi Grant tips it out to Biddle. Biddle in, out to Ray now. Back to Biddle. And he's going to be fouled by Newbert. There was arm contact.
So, Jeff, I'll say what I've seen so far in this third period is the defensive pressure that Crater is applying is much better than what we saw in the first half, and they're just hustling after those loose balls. They're getting to the loose balls and haven't been giving up the offensive rebounds. So I think that they've made some of the adjustments that we wanted to see them make at halftime as Biddle.
I am seeing a little bit more composure on the offensive front and a more diligent process to run some sets and plays. They got settled down again. Little of both as Biddle goes up. That one's hard. He makes one of two. Eaton down hard on his back just outside of the key. Into the game now, number 14, Cameron O'Connor. Frank has an open look, and he goes up. That's hard off the back iron, brought down by Chubb. He tosses it back into Newbert. And O'Connor, the long shot. Again, offensive rebound.
Right after I said that, then they got two offensive rebounds.
Braden Lowry, the 6'3 senior. A simple rebound and putback when Biddle's on the other side, and that's what happened in the first half. 38-32 now, 3 minutes to go. Ball into Biddle. Inlet by Ray, picked away by Newbert. And Nathan has two or three players around him when that ball's coming down on that inlet pass.
Go defense!
Brought the ball down to his waist level. Possible travel. Newbert now with the ball. Newbert up over Grant. Again, pushing a lot of underneath the basket. Biddle comes up with the rebound. So Braden Lowry has no problem. A little bit more strength than Biddle on the foundation of his base. Chubb with a nice pass into Biddle. Again, 3 players are around him. But a nice inlet pass, and that stretches the lead to 40-32 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. We have a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back on Table Rock Sports.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lake who made it all possible, Carlos. You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guide during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
Hey, and welcome back to TableRockSports.net. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Again, tonight's major sponsor is Lithia Superstore. We appreciate all our sponsors here at Table Rock. It allows us to do what we do. We're in Klamath Falls. We've got about 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Excuse me.
It's that Mountain Dew that Jeff recovered as Braden Ray gets the steal and the bucket. Again, that's that smothering defense that Braden Ray provides. Braden's had a big half. That's his 5th point in this half alone.
Frank has an open look. Biddle flies by, and Frank hits the three-pointer and makes him pay. Pushes that lead back down to 7. Biddle now on the right-hand side. The shot, thinks about it. He's picked up by Northcutt. Brains in now. Cross-court pass to Grant. Grant makes a move. 2 quick feet. He wanted to go baseline on Howe. Trevor Jasko checks into the game wearing number 3 for the Comets. So it's Kruger Edwards, Trevor Jasko, Braden Ray, Colton Brains, and Nathan Biddle for the Comets.
Jeff, we're seeing maybe not as many as we did last night, but it's good to see Coach Schmerbach really utilizing his bench again tonight, going much deeper than what we have seen in the past from Crater Comets as sophomore Brains picks up a foul battling with Cameron O'Connor on the block. O'Connor has at least 6 inches on Brains.
4 team fouls on the Comets. And a nice floating shot by Newsom. Again, he really hurt the Comets there in the second quarter. Inlet pass from Biddle, knocked away. Braden Ray finds himself some trouble, and that's going to be a turnover right in front of the student section for the Hornets. Under a minute to go here at third quarter action. Newbert over to Newsom. Newsom to O'Connor. O'Connor works to his right, now to his left. Going to be another foul on Brains. They fixed the personal fouls now. That's going to be the second foul, of the half on the Comets. Hornets have 3. We haven't mentioned here tonight. Again, last night we talked a bit about the Comets' upcoming season. Jaden Vrains is dressed tonight, the starting point guard for the past 2 years. The senior is in the Comet uniform, but
he participated in warm-ups. He looked pretty good. He was jumping, moving pretty well. Chubb looks a little nervous to pull the trigger in the second half, Jeff. We mentioned that he had some shooting woes in the first half. Sure be nice to see him get some shots up again. Right here's a chance.
Kruger Edwards with the dish to Chubb right in front of the Crater bench, and he gets that one to go down. And that may loosen up the junior. 38-45 favor the Comets. 7-point lead. Newbert now with it. Newbert hard to the hole. It's going to be called a foul, I believe, on Chubb. going up
on Trevor Jasko.
Jasko with the foul.
You know, I was watching Hunter Chubb, Jeff. He kind of got tangled up in the first half, and he's been favoring an ankle a little bit, and he did sprain his ankle, I think, 3 weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving. And so he might have kind of aggravated that a little bit.
And again, the Hornets offensive rebound on free throws of their own. That'll do it for the third quarter. The Comets hanging on here by a score of 45-39 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. We'll be right back after this.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. There you go.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guide during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on LithiaSuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
And welcome back to TableRockSports.net. Jeff Lang and Jason Brewster. We're here in the Hornets' Nest. The 4A Henley Hornets on the campus here. Kind of a unique campus, Jason. The high school is tucked right in between Henley Middle School and Henley Elementary School.
It is. A little bit on the outskirts of Klamath Falls. It's my first time to Henley, and I did not realize all three schools were right together.
Let's talk a little bit about Bill's Glass. They're a proud sponsor with Table Rock Sports. Bill's Glass has been an industry leader for clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years, covering the full spectrum of glass from your vehicle to any room in your house. Locally owned, family-run Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. Comets come out in a different defense here, Jason, to start the fourth quarter.
Chubb knocks down his second three-pointer in a row, so good to see junior Hunter Chubb heating up from beyond the arc.
3 possessions in a zone for Coach Luke Hammond, and they're all a fade. There's a nice drive by Newbert down the left side, up and over the 6'6" Kruger Edwards. So Newbert showing his offensive skills, 48-41. Back in a man-to-man now. Biddle loses that ball into who else's hands? Braden Lowry. Braden Lowry is blocked by Biddle easily. High on the glass. Colton Brains now on the far sidelines. Drives it in. Tries to get it into Eaton. Edwards. Goes off of a knee or two, and that turns it over to the Hornets. So nice block by Biddle. An incredible highlight.
Boy, it was. You know, you saw that coming, too, at about half court. Biddle kind of changed his angle on the basket, and you knew he was going up high for it.
Newbert up and off, boarded by Edwards. There's Brains. Gets it to the hot hand for the quarter. That's Chubb. Edwards to the hole, and it's going to be player control. Just had his head down, not knowing where he was going. And O'Connor, the yeoman's work he's doing tonight, saw that, jumped in the lane, and took the charge for Kruger Edwards.
Number 1,
48-41 now. Here's an open shot for Newbert. Jasko let him open, and Coach Luke Hammond wants a timeout as they inch closer now. 48-44 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a break. It looks like a full timeout here. We'll be right back here on Table Rock Sports.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. where wonder rules the day and families are transformed. From the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
The Know Your Role campaign is incredibly needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive culture where everybody enjoys the game.
At least creates awareness that some things need to change in order for the youth sports world and even actually the adult sports world to continue.
Knowing your role means that the parent, the coach,
Hey, and we're back. We got a barn burner. Stick with us. 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go. 4-point lead for the Comets here in the Hornets' nest. Hornets playing really well, led by Braden Laurie, the 6'3 center post, wearing number 4, and also number 24, the 6'4 guard, Newbert. Biddle gets an easy 2 as if they can get that ball inside cleanly. It's lights out.
And it has been all night for them, Jeff. That's Biddle's 27th point, and every time he's gotten the ball on the block.
Tough shot by Newbert over Biddle, brought down by Ray.
Newbert's a good athlete to be able to get that shot up and over Biddle and give it a chance.
He easily gets by those Comet defenders on the perimeter. Braden Ray to Edwards. A selfless pass to Chubb. Chubb off the back iron, brought down by Howe. Darius Hall back into the game. Here's Lowry. Pump fake. Nope, not going to do it. But he gets it back, and that's what he's been doing all night is hustle. Eaton, the quarterback, throws a flag play.
And Ray was running a post route.
And it went a little long off the head of a Klamath Falls spectator. He adjusts his goggles. Says, I may need a new pair. Let's go to Lens Crafters after the game. Looks to be all right. Here's Darius Hall now. Newbert off the roll. That's going to come up a bit short. Good defense by Eaton. The Hornets here are perennial power in the Skyline Conference. They've really owned this conference for several years. They've got a great program. It's a beautiful facility here. Hard to play in. We got a foul down on the post as Newbert's trying to defend Biddle. He's posting hard down on the block.
Looks like O'Connor got that call, I think on the backside, tussling with Kruger Edwards,
okay.
Jeff. But Newbert, you're right, he's taken on the responsibility. It's going to go into Biddle here, see how he does against Nate when he gets it right down on the block like that. And that's the usual result. Nate Biddle looking at a triple-double tonight in rebounds, blocks to go along with his 29 points.
Ball into Lowry. He thinks better of it. Dribbles out to the three-point line now. 4.5 minutes to go. 52-44. Darius Hall with the shot. Brought down by who else? Braden Lowry on the offensive board. Yeoman's work. Here's Howe as he spins over Edwards. And a battle for the board between Lowry and Biddle. Biddle wins this matchup. Chubb picks up his dribble early right across half court. An errant pass by Kruger Edwards to the student section in Hornets' Nest. Turnover on the Comets.
Kind of passed that between Eaton and Chubb, and I don't think either of them knew for sure who it was intended for.
Nice little bounce pass right quicker would have been that. And
yep, I agree with that.
There's the alley-oop to Howe. He comes down and steps out of bounds as he tried to gain his balance.
Malachi Grant about to check in again for Kruger Edwards.
Malachi Grant is in, and he joins Eaton, Chubb, Braden Ray, and Biddle. Hornets still man-to-man here. 3.5 minutes to go, trying to get a hard-earned road win against this 4A team.
I expect to see Nate Biddle go back into the post here, Jeff, as the Comets have been most effective when he gets down on the post. It looks like they kind of have him running point. Maybe here he goes down to the post. But Eaton did not look that direction, and Nate came back out and told him, he's like, hey, when I post up, look for me, huh?
Comets look to run time off the clock. Coach Luke Hammond is content at this juncture. Ball knocked away by Hall. Out of Ray's hands. He gets his composure. Now Chubb with a long three-point shot on a step back. Interesting possession there where they burned about a minute off and decided to take that shot, but here's Newbert.
Yeah, I was convinced that they were going to try to get a 2 or 3 foot shot for Biddle again.
Newbert very active. He gets a runner. An errant pass by Chubb as Biddle takes a shot in the chest and in the jaw, picked up by Grant, and a timeout called by the Comets. So an errant pass puts some other players at risk here. 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter on the John L. Scott scoreboard. It's the Comets 52, the Hornets 44.
Doctors James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls offers a full scope of services from corrective jaw surgery, wisdom teeth removal, general anesthesia, dental implants, and much more. For more information or to schedule a consultation, call 541-779-3781. That's 541-779-3781.
At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
And we're back. Thank you for joining Table Rock Sports. This is Jeff Lang, partnering with Jason Brewster. We made the trek over the pass, 140, not bad today.
Not bad at all. I'm not sure what it's going to be like going back later this evening. I understand we got a little bit of snow out there, but it wasn't bad on the way over.
Everybody safe travel.
We left you with Nathan Biddle laying on the court. Looked like he maybe got his bell rung a little bit, but he walked back, sat down on the bench, and I believe he's still going to stay in. That was an official's timeout. The trainer from Henley came over, checked in on him. I think, like I said, may have got the wind knocked out of him, Jeff, but just wanted to take a breather.
His lip's a little red. The head trainer for the Henley Hornets is talking to Coach Chris Schmerbach. He wants to have a better look at Biddle because he's responsible for the situation here.
Nate convinced him he's fine.
The trainer
gave him a standing 8 count.
Right. So this is what I thought had happened because they took time to address Biddle on the floor. Even though there was a timeout, my thought was that he'd have to at least sit for a second, and we'll see. But the trainers stand close to him. Looks like he got hit in the mouth-nose area. It's a little reddened in there, but he is pleading his case and wants to enter the game. Again, 2.5 minutes left here, 52-44. On the floor for the Comets is Vrains, Ray, Chubb, Grant, and Eaton, all guards. I guess if you call Grant a guard, and I'm going to, a little better English for me. Four team fouls apiece here, so Coach Luke Hammond's going to have to decide to foul here at some juncture. So just under 2 minutes left. Comets continue to burn time off. Malachi Grant picks up his dribble a bit early.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Hammond, I'm going to go ahead and start fouling while Nate Biddle's out. It looked like he was trying to apply the pressure, maybe try and get a 5-second call, and Nate Biddle's checking back in again now.
A little darned if you do, darned if you don't. If you do foul, that brings the big man back onto the court, as we can see now. But 5th team foul on the Hornets. Next broadcast for the Crater Comets boys will be next Friday, the 20th of December, as they start league action. Ball into Biddle from Ray, and he's fouled by O'Connor down low, and that may be the dagger for the Comets as Biddle looks to convert this 3-point play, but inlet pass from Braden Ray.
It's Nate Biddle's 31st point with an opportunity for the three-point play. And it's really filled up the stat sheet tonight with his rebounds, his blocks. He's got a few assists.
So stick with us. At the end of the game, we'll have the My Circle K post-game show. We'll give you some stats and talk about some upcoming games for the Comets. And we'll be quick with that, we promise, right after the break. Newbert in, off balance, up with his left hand. Comets control it. Brains into Chubb at midcourt. 55-44 now, minute 20 left. Lowry picking up Brains. Here's Braden Ray driving in. Chubb now driving in. Game of keep away. Eaton with his left hand. Now his right. He's double teamed and throws it away, but he's fouled first. Again, stick with us here right after the break. We'll recap today's scoring, look at some key stats, and we'll check the John L. Scott scoreboard for any other scores that we see around the state and area. Again, mycirclek.com post-game show coming up next. We got a Crater girls score to report. They're up 41-20 at the end of the third quarter in Central Point. Again, playing the Henley Hornets as Hall takes a shot, and that's blocked by Biddle. And set play for the Hornets. There's Newbert, and he's got a great-looking jump shot that comes up short. Brought down by Braden Ray, so it's going to all but do it here. Under a minute, 55-44. Comets are going to move their record to 2-1 overall. Braden Ray, a really nice drive in from the left-hand side and converts the two. So a nice game for the junior wearing number 1, Braden Ray, on defensive end and offensive end. And it wouldn't be a frustrating night if it didn't end that way for Darius Hall as he picks up another player control foul, his 5th. Just a rough night for the senior. So,
boy, the Gatorade containers are not safe right now, Jeff.
They're not. Darius pacing to our right here a little bit, frustrated with his game tonight. He'll be back. He'll have a good season. And that'll do it here from the Hornets' Nest. Again, we'll be right back here in hopefully a minute or two. We'll recap some key stats for you. Comets come away with the win, 57-44. We'll be right back on TableRockSports.net.
At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
The Know Your Role campaign is incredibly needed and incredibly vital and important to establish boundaries, safe boundaries for children to play.
It's got to be a proactive culture where everybody enjoys the game.
At least creates awareness that some things need to change in order for the youth sports world and even actually the adult sports world to continue.
Knowing your role means that the parent, the coach, the referee, the fans, we all have a role.
Listen up, everyone. Listen up. You know that great deal got him a new car? This is the guy from Lithia who made it all possible, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
You want someone who's going to take care of you and not just the dealership? My guy should be your guy.
Hola, Carlos.
But not for you, little sister. Thank you for coming.
Find your guide during Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
Welcome back to TableRockSports.net. Jeff Lang alongside Jason Brewster here. We have a final score on the John L. Scott scoreboard of 57-44 as the Comets move their record to 2-1 now here early on in the season. They were certainly tested tonight. Jason, I know you've got some stats and a few thoughts you want to share with us.
I do, Jeff. A tough game tonight against the Skyline Conference Henley Hornets in their own gym, the Hornet Nest. And I think as we talked about the first half, basically a tie game, 30-30 at halftime. We discussed how Henley was really tough on the offensive rebounds. Crater kind of neutralized that a little bit in the second half, played a little more under control, got Nate Biddle inside where he was virtually unstoppable. Nate ended with 32 points, 12 rebounds, 11 blocks, so a triple-double for the big guy. And 2 assists to go along with it. He was helped out by really a nice game from Braden Ray. Braden Ray came up with 9 points in addition to the steals that he always gets and just constant harassment of the perimeter guards. That's so crucial because it keeps those guards from being able to survey the court and get into the offense comfortably. And when the guards are feeling rushed and pressured, it really affects the whole team. So got to give some props to Braden Ray on a big game tonight. The Henley Hornets were led by Matthew Newbert with his 10 points, and then Braden Lowry, the all-around defender, rebounder. He had 8 points to go along with that. 44-57, a good game from the Henley Hornets. I think a good test for the Comets. And that's what we saw over here in Klamath Falls, Jeff.
So the Hornets are going to have another great season, folks. Again, a perennial power here on the east side in the Skyline Conference, indeed. So they're well on their way to a great season as they played the Comets here tough at home. We want to thank you for watching today's broadcast. Be sure to download the free TableRockSports.net app and watch the replay of this game free on your mobile device. We'd like to thank Henley High School Athletic Director Tom Maloney for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week on TableRockSports.net in today's broadcast. Special thanks to head coaches Chris Schmierbach, a homecoming of sorts for him, and, of course, Luke Hammond. Our next Table Rock Sports production will be next Friday on the road as the Comets open up league play early, and they're heading up to North Eugene to take on the Highlanders. And we'll be right there on Friday night. I believe that's a 7 p.m. start right here on Table Rock Sports. Again, the final score on the John L. Scott scoreboard, Crater Comets 57, Henley Hornets 44. This has been a special presentation of Table Rock Sports with Jason Brewster, Chelsea Brewster. I'm Jeff Lang saying thanks for watching and good night from Henley High School in Klamath Falls, Oregon.